What's up? What's up? Hello, fellow Serato people of the world. What's up? My name is Matt. I also go by Kutcorners. Hopefully, you guys can hear me okay. Um, we're going to get into making some beats today. We're going to make some beats from scratch. So, first of all, before we even get started, I want to make sure that everyone, if they haven't already downloaded Serato Studio, that you can get that. That's in the description. And now you can actually use Serato Studio for free. So if you don't have a license, there's a free mode and a free version that you can use. It's limited, but man, you can actually do quite a lot with that free version. So if you don't have it already, go download it, and you can actually probably follow along with a lot of the things that we're doing today. So yeah, make sure you go download that. That's in the description, like I said. So yeah, here we are. It's a crazy time, but this is the best time to take advantage of the opportunity to learn some new stuff. So hopefully we'll do that. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. So as you can see here, I've got my Serato Studio DAW, and we're going to start with a brand new, fresh project. So when you first open the software, let's save that. Cool. You will see you have two options here. You've got a new beat or a new DJ edit. You've got all your recent projects or demos. So I mean, I don't have any demo packs right now, but these are all the beats I've been making with them. And then you've also got a lot of these options here to start with a template. So if you've never made a beat before, but you know what genre you want to make, you can actually choose one of these genres here. We've got a couple to choose from. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to make a trap. Let's try trap, and I'm going to make a beat like that. So let's go that. There we are. And already we're taken into what we call the beat making scenes. And this is laid out very much like a controller. If you've ever used a Serato DJ controller, I hope that you guys have, if you have one of those, that you can plug it in and use it with this. It makes it very, very fun. And that's mainly because this is laid out very much like a Serato DJ controller, where you've got these 8 pads here. And these pads, as you can see, I'm actually not using a controller today, so I'm just using my computer keyboard today. But if you do have a MIDI controller, then even better. You can take full advantage of the software with that. But I'm just going to do that with the keyboard today. And as you can see on my computer keyboard, I'm just going to press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and they will trigger all these pads. If you do have a controller, of course, those pads will trigger that as well. And then on this channel, this middle section here, this is basically all the parameters that you can use for each of these sounds. So you'll see as I press a sound, everything here will go red, and on this channel here, and it will say kick right here. And then if I press 2, it'll change to blue, and it will be the snare, and all these parameters will now affect that snare. So if I press this snare, you can hear it. It'll just affect that snare. So let's just take the filter down, and then if I play the kick, you'll see that filter won't affect the kick. And that's the same thing for all of these parameters for each of the individual sounds here. And that's the volume, the filter, the EQ, the gain, and all of these parameters here. You can reverse, attack, release, tempo adjust, key shift. And yeah, that's pretty much the way that this whole side works here. Now, on this side, this is what we'd refer to as a drum bus, and this will affect the whole, every instrument, every little pad in here will be affected by this right channel here. Now, let me just pull up my pinpoint tool so you can see a bit better. There we go. Is that clearer? Look at that. We got the little purple circle here. So, as I was saying, this side, if you have a DJ controller plugged in, all these knobs and controls will just work as soon as you turn them, and all these pads will play when you hit the pads, and these faders will do that too. So yeah, it's very easy to use with the Serato DJ controller. Now, if you've never used a step sequencer before, that's what this area is called. And just to break it down really quick, these are like all segments of beats. So one scene here, what we've got is what we call a scene, and this is a one beat scene. And these are divisions of the beat. So if you know music theory, you'll probably be familiar with terms like 16th notes, 8th notes, 1 beats, quarter beats, things like that. And basically, the gray parts represent beats, and 4 beats make up 1 bar. So you'll see the dark gray, and then a lighter gray, and then a darker gray, and then a lighter gray. And those are beat divisions of 1 bar. Now, if you press, you see you got plus and minus either side of that. If you press plus, you get a 2-bar phrase. And if you press it again, you get a 4-bar phrase. And you might be wondering, well, why can't I only see 1 and 2 and not 3 and 4? Well, it's because basically 3 and 4 are hidden away at the moment until you press this little button here, this little arrow, and then you'll get the full expansion of the full 4 bars there. And you can also adjust this. So if you have like a smaller screen or something, you can actually move this around and make it work with whatever resolution you've got. So if you're working with like a 13-inch MacBook Pro or something, you know you've got a little bit less space. And the same can be done here. You can move this up and down, which is really nice, especially if you want to be able to see a bit more of your library like I do. All right, so I guess the first thing we want to do is probably add some drums in here. Now you can just press one of these templates here. So you've got you've got a bunch of different genre templates that you can choose from, and if you just click this button, it will make a pattern for you. And that's basically giving you a template to work with, and then you can add to it if you want. So you can add some kicks in here. There we go. Let's expand that out. So that's I'm not really feeling that. You can just click in and out of these things. But if you also don't like the idea of like just penciling in things, you can actually play them in as well. So using your computer keyboard, or like I said, a MIDI controller or a DJ controller, you can just press this record button here. I'm just going to click and delete all of these kick drums, and I'm just going to play in some kick drums. So as soon as I press this, it's going to give me a count in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm able to start inputting sounds. So let's go. Now, if you're a bit sloppy with your timing like me, you can see that this kind of fell off a little bit. So you can use this thing called quantize. If you click that little Q, that means all your input data will be quantized. So let's just delete that again. If you don't like quantizing, though, you can leave that off, and then you can kind of keep your, I guess, your own swing or your own feel into the beat. But I'm gonna use the quantize because I'm kind of like, you know, wanted to use it, make sure it's on time. So let's go. And you can see that's basically locked it into the groove, which is exactly what I wanted. Now, there's another a cool new feature that I'm just going to tease right now. I'm going to show you guys how to use it. It's not out just yet, but it's coming, and it's called autofill. So for maybe some of the more advanced producers that are watching, you may be interested to see this. If you want to, this is like 8th notes, but if you want to make it 16th notes, you can right-click here, and then you can do this thing called fill in, and then you can press choose the rate that you want to fill it in, and then click it, and now it'll autofill that whole thing. So now we have 16th notes. So if we don't like that, you can just press Command Z, and that'll undo that. Cool. So, well, we've got some drums now. I'm going to take these kicks out, though, because I just want to work with just the hi-hat and snare. And you will notice that this kick bottom part is a little different from the other ones. These are all 16th notes, and this one looks like it's a lot faster. And that's a 30-second note grid. So if you need to get to a 30-second note grid, you can actually do that on any of these different instruments. You just press grid, and then you get to choose here. So times 2 would be, well, 16 times 2 is 32. So if you turn that off, that's a 16th note grid, times 2 30-second note grid, and then the 3 is a triplet grid, and then you can do a triplet 30-second note grid if you really want to go crazy with it. But that's a third like a triplet grid is very, very helpful for, any like kind of triplet feels, especially like trap drums or, like kind of triplet hi-hats, or I guess dubstep was pretty big with the old triplets too. So yeah, it's a very helpful feature for those of you who may want to use that and add some variety to your beat. But right now we've got like a little drum pattern, and the next thing I want to do is I want to add an instrument. All right. So I'm going to add an instrument now, and you'll see here that it's now taking me to this instruments tab on the side. So you can see all these different tabs here. You can go to your Serato DJ library, your drums, or your instruments. I'm just going to collapse that for a moment, and you can see you can drop an instrument in here. Now, we just released a pack with Track Girl. It's when you have Serato Studio, you can actually download the packs for free. Sound packs are really good. So, like I said, if you might be able to see this here. There we go. If you go to the website and you go to the Sounds tab, you can download all these packs if you've got an account and you've got a license. And you can see this Track Girl pack is the one I'm going to use one of these sounds from. But we've got like so many cool sounds. DiBiase, shout out DiBiase. Shout out Stolen Drums. Shout out Fool's Gold. Shout out Flosstradamus. I mean, Just Blaze. What can I say? Lo-Fi the Future. We got some really good, really good people on here. And they got great sounds. Also like Loop Masters, the core pack, which comes with all the sounds a bunch of sounds as soon as you download Serato Studio. It has great sounds also by like Decap and MSX Audio and people like that. So yeah, I mean, even just for the sounds, it's fantastic. So let's tuck that away. All right. And so yeah, I'm going to use one of these Track Girl sounds. I think I'm going to try this 90 Vibes piano. And when you click on it, if you've got this little speaker illuminated, it'll play a sound. So you can preview what it's going to sound like. So I'm going to use this 90 Vibes piano and see how that goes. Now, what's kind of impressive about Serato Studio and kind of unique to it comparatively to other DAWs is that it has this thing called master key and master tempo. I mean, most DAWs will have a tempo, but a lot of DAWs don't have like a master key or project key feature. And with that, it's going to default to C minor. You basically are choosing what key you want. You don't have to be C minor. You can change that and make that whatever you want. So, I mean, maybe let's make it D minor just cause. And what that'll do is now make these 8 notes be in the key of the project, which is D minor. So that's D minor, the D minor scale. If you do want the full chromatic keyboard, you can choose that, and then you'll see you have all the 12 notes. But if you use plain key, it'll just give you the 8 notes of the D minor scale on those pads and on your computer keyboard. So now that I know that, I actually want to try some chords, and this is a really cool feature about since we have this project key, that you can create chords in Serato Studio without having to understand music theory. You can just press this auto chord button, and then these now become chords. So you'll see if I hover over here, you'll see that in this keyboard roll here, you'll see these 3 notes, and these 3 notes are relative to the D minor scale. And if I press the keys on my keyboard, it'll play those notes. Now you'll get what we call a triad in music with the 3 notes here, but if you press up, you'll get a 7th. So that's the 4 notes, starting with the root note. Sounds pretty cool, hey? Actually, I'm going to go back to C minor. Is this what I want to do? Okay, cool. There we go. All right. And you can also adjust the feel here, which will allow you to... Actually, I'm not really feeling this one as much. Let me try another piano. Let's see what else Track Girl's got in here. Track. Is it this one? Maybe a different one. Let's see what else we got. There we go. So I like these chords. I can play along with the beat. So let's hear how that sounds. Cool. So I got some cool little chords there that I like. So I'm going to record these in. Cool. So we got a little groove happening there. So the next thing I probably want to do is add, I don't know, some kicks to this. Actually, let me add some kicks to this. So let's see what happens if I just add some kicks in here. Oops. Cool. So we got a little kick drum pattern now. I'm not really sure if I'm going to commit to that completely, so I'm just going to leave it like that. But I do like these sounds. With this drum pattern though, I want to add a few more, like, I don't know, it's a couple of different hi-hats. Maybe I will use that autofill feature, and I'll use 16th notes. No, I'm going to leave it at that, and then I'm going to add in 16th notes where I want them to be. So there we go. Cool. Now, these hi-hats, they kind of sound a little bit high. I'm going to turn them down a little bit. So I'm just going to use the, like I said earlier, I can use just this volume fader for just this hi-hat. I can just turn it down a bit. So let's hear how that sounds. Another cool thing about hi-hats here is that you can actually use this thing called swing, and this will give your basically your little your hi-hats and any 16th notes a little bit of funk. So you can just turn this up. I mean, you can get pretty crazy with it. Just gonna turn it up a touch. Cool. Now let's like put, I don't know, like an effect on just the snare. So up here you got this little effects button right next to your project key. If you click on that, you'll see there's some default effects already applied, or not applied, but there for you to turn on. And I'm going to click on the snare, and I want some reverb. So you can see it's already actually got a reverb here for me. So I'm just going to turn that up and see how that sounds. This isn't quite got the tail that I want. Like I want it to kind of like ring a little bit longer. So I'm gonna choose a different reverb from the drop down menu. So you just click on this drop down menu here, and I'm gonna choose light tail reverb. And I know this one has quite a bit more tail on it. So yeah, it's quite a strong effect. But I like that kind of size of it. So here we go. And I can put this clap in here. I don't really like this clap though, so I might swap this clap out. And I think this is pretty important to show you. It's quite easy to do. So you just go to your drums tab here, and I'm just going to search in the all drums here. I'm just going to search for clap. And we got one there. And this is a combination of my sounds. Okay, that's pretty cool. And some of the ones that come with it. So this one's from the Melodics drum pack. Shout out to Jeremy Toy. And this is like a pretty cool clap. So I'm going to put this in this sequence here. Maybe I'll put on just on this one and on this one. And this one I also want to put, I don't know, there's some reverb on it, so let's throw some reverb on that too. Where are we? Here we go. Same one, light tail reverb, and there we go. Another thing I like to do actually on this closed hat is I actually like to put some little effects on this hat. So what I can do is I can choose this thing called sidechain, and what sidechain does is that it basically every time a kick hits or whatever you nominate, a kick or whatever instrument you want, it'll make the sound duck a little bit. So if I turn, you'll see here it's already okay. Here we go. We want it to default to the kick here, and you just want to turn it on, and now this closed hat will duck every time this kick hits. Let's have a listen to that. I'm going to use sidechain a bit more later as well, so we'll get to that in a second. But while we're on this hi-hats thing here, I'm going to turn this grid off now. What I want to do with these hi-hats, I also want to pitch down just this little part here just to kind of give it some funk. So let's hear how that sounds. If I go to this little robot guy up in this top right here, and I click on him, then I get these options basically on what I want to do with from this drop-down menu to just the hi-hat. And you can tell I'm just working on the hi-hat because it's got this little purple dot highlighting just the closed hat. If I wanted to do the whole drum kit, I'd have to click on that, and then it would give me access to the whole drum kit. But I just want to do the closed hat. And what I want to do with the closed hat is I actually want to just change the key. So I'm just going to click on this key here, and you can see now this has changed to key. So if I go to bars 3 and I just make this pitch down. Now we'll hear it. We'll hear that as it plays, you'll see that this pitch of the hi-hat will just go down here. So here we go. Cool. It's kind of like quite a contemporary style of automation to hi-hats. It's like kind of like you hear like Travis Scott and Migos, a lot of like the trap producers will use this kind of feature, but I mean even like Disclosure and house people will use this feature for different things. It's a very good way to kind of like allow you to create some variety with your patterns, and a very easy way to do it. So if I'm done with that automation, I'll just click out of that little robot there, and we're back to where we can kind of input data however we want. So now I've got this little beat here. I'm definitely going to need to add a bass line here. So I'm going to pull up another instrument here, and you can see we can add more drums or add a sample or add an instrument. I'm going to add an instrument, And then I'm going to go into the bass category of my instruments tab here. And as you can see, I can just click on these. You can click on them and they'll just make a sound. I'm going to go for the classic Head Explosion bass by Decap. I love this bass. It's really, really good. And again, as I mentioned earlier, this will now give me all of the notes within the scale of C minor, from C to C, without any of the wrong notes, if you will. So I started out with the keyboards. I started on number 4, which means that's probably what I'll need to press for the bass. So I can just follow along with that if I want. I might pitch it down an octave. So right now, you can use these little arrows, keys, either side of that to pitch the octave down. You'll see it'll change over here. And you can also use the hotkeys, which are Z or X, and you can go all the way down. And you'll see as you go down, it'll change the color of the piano roll here. And so that's pretty low, pretty high. Cool, so that's what I want to record in. I'm just going to press record. Oops, probably just need to delete that and drag that out. So as you can see, I can just click on this, it'll delete it. Can click it again to put it back in, and then just drag it out however long I want it. That's pretty common with most DAWs, and is obviously the same in Serato Studio. And this is, you can see the notes here that you're playing, so if you ever needed to reference it on an actual keyboard or communicate that to an instrument, a player of any sort, you can kind of refer to here which notes you're playing. And of course, if you turn that off, then you'll see all the other wrong notes or other notes that you may want to get to as well, but this will just give you the 8 notes that you need. So, and at the end of this, you'll notice on bars 4, I did this kind of bending up thing. And the way I did that, if I press 1 and then press the 8 key, you'll see it kind of bend up. And we call that glide in here. It's also known as portamento. And basically what you need to do to get it to do that is you need to make sure this is on and or turned up. And you can see how this note kind of carries on a little bit underneath this octave of it, and that's so that it gives it the ability to kind of bend up. So let's have a listen to that. If I turn that off completely, you'll hear how it sounds. So there, you just hear it go, and that just triggers it again. But I like that glide a lot. And again, that's kind of quite a contemporary sound a lot of people use. And you don't have to use it just on bass. You can use it on, anything really, as long as you just turn it on. You can kind of mess with it and find some pretty creative, like sound design-y sounds with it if you want. So I got my bass line. I'm fairly happy with that. So I've got like a basic pattern here. Now I want to add maybe another instrument to kind of to flesh out that chord progression. So I'm going to add another instrument. And right now I'm just using instruments from the Serato library, but you can drag in your own plugins if you prefer. And I will do that in a little bit. I'm just going to use another instrument from the Serato library, and I'm going to use the brass. There we go. It's brass ensemble staccato. So I'll just drag that in there. And this is kind of like quite tonight horn trappy. That sounds pretty cool even just as it is. And I'm just playing root notes. So for this, I'm just going to follow along with what I did there again. So let's see how that sounds. I made a mistake. Let's drag that over there. Now you can see as I'm playing this out, you can see actually all these little waveforms show up for the individual instruments and drums and stuff that I'm doing. And this is kind of a helpful tip actually, because if you can see your kick drums are in red, and you can see these bass lines kind of follow these red kick drums. So if I expand it out, you can actually see. You can see all these, like, they're all hitting kind of at the same time. Looks like I made a mistake here. Yeah, so maybe I want to like tighten up that drum there. Another cool thing is if you want some velocity, you can hover your mouse over here, press the command button on your keyboard, and then you'll see that your ability to change velocity is there. So I'll just click on that, drag it down, and now you see it's kind of, you may not be able to see this that clearly, but it's kind of slightly less bright white. It's kind of more of a light gray now. Now I want to crank this sidechain up a bit more. I want it to be a bit more impactful. Here we go. Cool. All right, so we're getting somewhere here. We got a nice little stack of sounds. What else have I got in here? Yeah, open hat. Yeah, let's throw a little open hat in here. Open hat's always really good for just kind of like spicing things up. If you throw them in interesting places, let's just make sure that's not coming in too loud. And if you don't like the full length of this, like this is quite a long sound. In this drum deck, you've got these two little like lines here, and this indicates the beginning of the sound, and this indicates the end of the sound. And you can move this line in as tight as you want on the sound, so you can make it shorter. So if you can make it really short if you want, I'll throw it in there. Oops, not there. Let's see, maybe it's better off somewhere else. It's not sounding exactly how I want. Maybe I need a different, maybe I need to tighten it up. There we go. Yeah, try that there. No, not there. We'll get there, guys. Hold on a second. Move it out a bit. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. It's not a make or break part of the song. The next thing I want to do maybe is add another instrument. Let's add a plugin this time. So I'm going to go into my plugins tab. There we go. Use my words, and I'm going to look for. I've got this little crate here called Fave Plugins. Now these are all my plugins, but the cool thing about Serato, and if you've ever used Serato DJ, you'll know how like crates work. But basically, you can create a folder. Like a crate, and just drag in all of the instruments or plugins that you like and just have them in one plugin. So you can see I've got one for instruments, I've got one for mastering, all instruments, and then I've also got one for just my fave plugins. So I use Silent a fair amount, and I'll just drag that in here. I'll drag, there we go. There's Silent Classic. Now, I don't really like these stock sounds. Let's see if I can do something better than that. I'm going to load up, let me see what I got. Bank. I'm going to import my custom. I'm going to load my custom. Yeah, here we go, my sound banks. Shout out to Vaughn Oliver from Oliver He actually just did a session today on Splice, and he dropped a sound pack, and this original sound pack came with silent presets. So I use these all the time. They're really good, and yeah, they're really really fantastic. And you just click on this, and I'm gonna find I don't know, some kind of lead sound. Let's see what we got here. That's not right. Maybe I need to. There we go. Maybe another. There we go. All right, so I'm noodling around here, guys, so forgive me for that. But basically, I got like a decent sound here that I'm happy with. Now I want to throw on some reverb on this whole instrument, so I'm going to use this right side. And again, if you have a controller, these are like literally the buttons that you use on the right side. So I'm going to choose another reverb. I'm going to stack some sounds here. Whew. Bit too much reverb there. And then I'll add some delay as well, or echo, shall I say. Dub echo? What do you say? Echo, or let's just do standard echo. We'll do the dub echo. No, let's do dub echo. It's great. Why not? Dub it out, hey? Maybe I don't need this massive reverb. I just need a delay. Cool. All right. Again, I'm just using my computer keyboard. Shout out Freezer Chin. I see you in the chat, my guy. Shout out to you and Joe. I'm so glad you guys are watching. And Astronaut, yeah. Shout out Astronaut too. I see you, bro. I haven't seen you since ComplexCon. Good to see you. Good hanging out with you out there. I think Nick McLaren's in here. What's up, boss? All right, anyways, back to the beats. So yeah, I'm gonna try and play this in with my computer keyboard. Let's just go here. So yeah, I did a pretty good job of getting it in time, but my rhythm was really that bad, so let's fix that up. Let's see how that sounds. Hey, Rebecca Rutherford, I see you. Shout out Rebecca. Shout out Rebecca for putting this together. Big shout out to Rebecca, making things happen for us here. And yes, I can turn out my mic. 1 second. How's that? I think that's a bit better. Okay, so we have a little melody. We've got these basically got this whole song, and I read this tweet the other day from somebody who said, like, make the chorus first, and then you can kind of just work backwards. And I think that's a really, really good tool, actually, a really, really good technique. So maybe I'll put a couple more things in here. I want to put one more. I want to add a sample in here, and I'm going to take a sample from just the audio samples. I'm just going to grab a woo. Just Blaze. Shout out Just Blaze, right? Yeah, man. Shout out Just Blaze. In fact, one of the cool things I heard, I don't know if you watched the video he did with us, but he actually put some of the drum sounds he's used in a Drake and Rick Ross song. So that's included in the software. When you download the software, you can get the sounds, like I said earlier. And yeah, you can get some sounds that were used in like big records. So I'm going to take this woo, drag it in here. And again, using the project key, it's going to try and sync this to the to the project key. And that's usually really cool. Like if I had a melodic element, I'd probably want that to be the case. But in fact, on this one, I don't actually want it to sync. So I'm going to turn sync off. And I'm also going to turn BPM. Yeah, that's actually fine. If I do want to speed it up, though, I can double or half the speed of it. So let's hear how that sounds. Let's do ×2. Or half. Let's just do regular. Yeah. Cool. And you can see you got playback mode. So as I'm holding this down, it's just playing it. And that means if I just draw it in here, it'll just play as long as the white part is there. So if I do it even shorter, you'll just hear it go. Yeah, which is, you don't want that. So actually I want to play the trigger. I want it to trigger the whole song instead of being momentary. So I'm going to click this little bottom one with the little arrow. And now it'll do what I want it to do. So let's see where I want to put this in the beat. Out there. And luckily, F minor happens to be a relative scale to C minor, so it does actually work harmonically as well, which is great. Okay, cool, stop. And we'll just move this beginning part a little bit closer. Thank you, Legacy907. Hey, Vigor. Hi, Lily. Shouting people out now. This is great. All right, what else we got here? Okay, any other questions here that I should answer while we're doing? Ozone 5, we'll believe that. Okay, cool. Well, we're just going to keep making the beat. So like I said earlier, we've got a basic beat here. Now that I'm happy with it, now I can sequence it. So, all right, a little bit more. I'm going to do my best as I can here. So I've got this intro section, and now you've got all these sections here, but that basically you can copy or create new ones. I'm just going to copy this over a couple times. So now I've got 3 copies of this, and I'm actually going to subtract parts of this that I don't need. So for the intro, I probably don't need all these sounds. I just probably need I don't need this kicks. I'm going to take the kicks out. And I'll make that bigger so I can just click on them and delete them. So I'm just clicking and holding and deleting. Don't need that bass. Where is that bass? There it is. And I can also just press this clear button here, and this will clear the whole pattern for just this scene. So these are the scenes, right? So I'm just clearing out for the intro scene, which means that if I go to scene 2, there that bass line is, and scene 3 should have it too. So just intro, it doesn't have the scene now. And I don't need those horns, so clear those. And I don't need that silent either. Let's get rid of the woo. This is my intro after all. And I might even just keep this even like simpler. I might just keep this really, really basic. And on scene 2, I'm just going to take out the silent part, maybe take out the horns. We're just going to build this up really slowly, and maybe the bass. So now this is just like, cool. And I'll copy this again. So I'm going to create a bunch and just kind of like create it. So I'm going to introduce it in different sections and start building it up. So here we go. Scene 3 now, I probably don't need the silent either. Let's clear that out. So I got my intro, I got my drums, and then I got bass. So I'm just renaming these so I know what they are. And so far we've just been working in this library view. Now I'm going to go into song view. And this is where these little scenes will start coming in because they're basically sequences. So let's go to click on the right here, song view. And then you'll see now you've got this timeline that you can work with. So I've got intro, and if I press play down here, then it needs me to basically add other things in here. So I can add another one of these. So now it'll be the intro. Cool. So now basically we're crafting kind of like the beat. We're kind of starting to arrange the beat. And this is a really important part, especially to kind of get your beat from not just, just a loop. You want to kind of create more of like a song, really. So this is what the song view is really important for. Yeah. So let's just maybe. First of all, I want to turn down this woo. This woo is way too loud, in my opinion. So let's go back to my woo. Turn them down. Turn down the gain here. And I'm gonna see what does this one have in it? And I don't want the horns on this one yet, so I'll clear out those two. So now this has got everything. I'll make another copy of this, and I will clear out some things in here as well. Clear out the silent, and I'll call this one horns, because that's what it is. It's got horns in it, and then this is like everything. We'll just call this one everything. Cool, so now we've got 5 different parts. Now what I want to do is, I want to structure it, but I really need to structure it around something. So let's use an acapella. Let's use an acapella that will allow us to kind of structure it around like an already existing form. So I'm going to add an audio track. So this is something that I haven't talked about just yet. These are audio tracks, and these are different from everything else in the scenes. These are where you basically will drag in a whole song or do an edit of something. So once you click add audio, it'll create an audio track, and then you can go into your library and you can drop audio in up here. So I'll go to my Serato DJ library. Again, kind of pretty cool about Serato Studio. It's really integrated with Serato DJ. So you can go scrolling through your crates and look for different sounds and stuff. I'm going to go into my acapella smart crate. You can see it's a smart crate because it's purple. And I'm just going to search for a song, Sage the Gemini, Gas Pedal. You guys know this one?
Slow down. Grab the wall. Wiggle like you're trying to make your ass.
It's got swear words in it. Apparently, ass is a swear word. So if you've got kids watching, this one's going to have some swear words in it. Just FYI, I wanted to give you guys a heads up on that one. But yeah, let's throw this a cappella on top of the beat and see how that sounds. So let's go back to our song view. Now this a cappella happens to be in C minor, and we can tell that because if we click on here, we show our key. It'll show the key, and that's the key that was analyzed in Serato DJ, and it also has the tempo that was analyzed in Serato DJ. So it already knows these things. So when it throws it in here, it's going to try and snap to the project key and tempo. Fortunately, both in C minor already. Great. No sweat there. 98 though, and 140 beats per minute. That's quite a jump. Shout out to the Bay Area, by the way. Big fan of Bay Area music and Bay Area DJs. Great place to visit. I mean, lots of places are great to visit. That's just one of my favorites personally. And what this is going to do is it's going to sync 98 beats per minute to 140. So let's hear how that sounds.
Slow down. Grab the wall. Wiggle like you're trying to make your ass fall off.
Whew, bit fast. Let's slow that down, literally.
Slow down.
We're going to...
Slow down.
So I'm going to press this up here by the sync button, so you can see that's where it was sync. If you want to turn sync off, of course, just turn sync off, and then you'll see the original BPM. But we want it to sync, but we want it to be half of 140, so let's go 70.
Slow down. Grab the wall.
Well, we're really slowing it down. We do definitely need to kind of find a middle ground, though. Like, this is definitely a little too slow for this acapella. So I'm going to kind of try and find a mid ground where 140 it's too slow. I want to speed it up to, I don't know, 160. That means if we split the difference, that's like 80 beats per minute.
Slow down. Grab the wall. Wiggle like. Slow down.
Cool. And now we need to kind of position this obviously over the beat, and we don't want it to start away right there. Check this out though. So with audio tracks and with the integration between Serato DJ and Serato Studio, you can actually pull in your Serato DJ cue points. So here is where you've got your cue points, if you will. We call them clips in here, but they're basically cue points. So you click in this little drop-down menu and you click on Serato DJ, and then you click Serato DJ, and it pulls in the Serato DJ cue point you have. So that's pretty cool, especially if you have lots. On this one, I only have one cue point, but if I had 8, then all 8 would show up here. And again, same rules apply as earlier. Like all these 3 effects slots will apply to just this cue, and all 3 will apply to the whole song. This EQ and volume and anything else like here will apply to just this cue. So where is this going to be? Let me see if I can get this timing right.
Slow down. Grab the wall. Wiggle like you.
Okay, we need to get that on beat. See how we can do it. So we can just drag this kind of in time with it.
Slow down. Slow down. Grab the wall. Wiggle like you tryna make your ass fall off. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up. Gas pedal. Gas.
Alright, I'm gonna make that part over here and duplicate that part. That's just Command D to duplicate that scene. And you can, Command copy, Command C, Command V, paste. So
slow down. Grab the wall. Wiggle like you tryna make your ass fall off. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up. Gas pedal. Gas pedal. Gas pedal. Gas pedal.
Gas pedal is a bit too hot, a bit too loud. Gotta turn them down. Here you go, Sage. Take it down a notch.
Slow down. Grab the wall. Wiggle like you tryna make your ass fall off. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up. Gas pedal. Gas.
And I'm gonna put the I'm gonna put these back. Let's go back to the scenes. Let's drop these horns in right here.
Gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal. And you already know me, S-A-G-E. Gas pedal, gas pedal. Black money, let them all say amen.
All right, I still want to speed this up. Let's go up to 170.
Black money, let them all say amen. I'm just trying to make it clear, boy, Ray-Bans.
All right, cool. Let's duplicate that. So as you can see, I'm using the chorus here to kind of structure the way I want this whole sequence to go. And I'm just going to do a rough job and see how it works through the whole thing. Let's give it a listen from the top.
Slow down. Grab the wall. Wiggle like you tryna make your ass fall off. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up. Gas pedal. Gas pedal. Gas pedal. Gas pedal. Gas pedal. And you already know me, S-A-G-E. Gas pedal. Gas pedal. Black money, let them all say amen. I'm just tryna make it clear, boy, Ray-Bans. I'm a great man, whoa, say friend. I play a whole late night DJ, man. Room full of boppers, tell them give me topper. Beat it up, 911, hit the coppers. I'm S-A-G-E, who would like to know? B545, large me in your throat. West side, baby, do what you do. And you gotta tell what that shit do. It's pretty nigga mild, that's the way that I grow. I be stepping up in the club, they make it drop to my show. Her dude mad cause I spoon, but I don't give a fork. Silverware, nigga out if he acting a poor sport. Use a door, grab a girl and get a yank. Got a booty like coops, I'm tryna make it. Wow, slow down. Grab the wall. Wiggle like you tryna make your ass fall off. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up. Gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal.
Okay, we're getting lots of swear words here, guys. Just if your kids are watching, please tell them to ignore the swear words if possible, or just tell them to maybe do something else. But anyways, I just wanted to give you guys that heads up. But we've got a basic structure going on here now. We can definitely do some more mixing. This scary piano, what I want to do with this, I want to put a side chain on this. And again, as I was saying earlier, side chain, what this does is if I solo this, I'm just going to press solo. What this does is when I turn this value knob up, it's going to duck anytime this kick drum hits. So you can see a kick there. Okay, let's get in the right scene. There we go. And if I turn it all the way up, you'll really notice it. So maybe not so much, but definitely some. I mean, I can put that on a lot of things. It's definitely a very popular effect. I did a little demo on it on my YouTube, and I talked about like how Kutcorners and Daft Punk, they use it a lot, and it sounds it's very effective. It's a great way to kind of glue things together. So let's also put sidechain on the Silenth. That's already got some stuff on here, excuse me. What am I doing? Let's do that. Hey, I see Destruct up in here. I see Rico Uno up in here. What's up, homies? Good to see some friends in here. What's up, Dave Dupree, SFT, Corey, Okami? Nice to have some people watching. I really appreciate that, guys. So yeah, we're going to keep going on this. Let's do something else really cool. So you can see this is the bass part. This is the verse. It's not very exciting if we just have that looping all the time. So I'm going to create a copy of just this bass thing here. So I've highlighted it, and you can see it's red. And then if I press copy, it's going to copy the bass thing. And now what I want to do here, I want to do a classic trick that I learned from a guy called Nick McLaren, where you just take the drop, the first kick out, and you take the kick drum, the sub out. And what this will do is we'll just kind of create maybe we'll take out this hats too. Yeah. There we go here. Yeah, that sounds kind of cool. And then we can, we'll call this, yeah, let's leave it at bass 2 actually. And we'll just drop that in here. And this is kind of cool because at the end of this section, there's like this kind of pause. And if you know the original song, there is a pause in it as well. And it sounds really good.
You know me, S-A-G-E, gas pedal, leg gas pedal. Black money, let them all say amen. I'm just trying to make it clear, boy, Ray-Bans. I'm a great man, whoa, say friend.
And you can even do some really cool, fancy stuff here on the scary piano. I'm gonna use an effect called breaker. And of course, if you use Serato Scratch Live or Serato DJ, you'll already know what this does. Basically, it just creates like a stop effect, like a vinyl stop effect. And we're gonna use this automation guy up here again, and we're gonna automate just this effect on. So I'm gonna use. You can see it's effects 2. And you can see it's on the whole way right now. I want to turn it off. And then I just want to make it go on for the first, there we go, the first bit. So maybe it's a little long. It's not long enough. We can make that go a little longer. Let's see what we can do with this. Effects on. There we go. Yeah, now that's going to sound cool. So we're going to go from the horns into this bass 2 part, and we have like a breaker effect.
You know me, S-A-G-E, gas pedal, leg gas pedal. Black money, let them all say amen.
Now we're getting fancy. So there's some nice little basic quick effects that you can do to really spice up, an otherwise just boring loop. Well, I'm trying not to say boring, but yeah, it's, like, I guess spice up kind of something that would otherwise be a little less dynamic. So I'm going to turn. That's how you use automation, basically, with that little robot guy. And you can do that on all sorts of things in here. Like I did earlier, I used the automation guy on the hi-hats. Where were the hi-hats? Here, the hi-hat here. Yeah, you can see I did the automation pitching down and just the hi-hats. So, so there's lots of little tricks that I like to use like this, and I think it's very, very popular and very common in a lot of rap music to kind of, and just modern production, to do these kind of little spicy things to kind of touch up a beat. So I got the breaker effect, I got this little automation thing going on. Now let's just do some beat, like taking some little things out as well. So like at the end of this part, whereas we're going to go into this kind of pre-chorus thing, I'm going to make another copy of this bass section here, which is kind of like the verse. And I'm going to just take the last bits out of here. So I'm just subtracting pieces from the drums. And I'm going to subtract this part here. And I'll just delete that. So this part should sound like this. So that's kind of pretty cool here. So let's have a listen how that sounds leading up into this pre-chorus.
Mad cause I spoon, but I don't give a fork. Silverware a nigga out if he acting a poor sport. Use a door, grab a girl and get a yank. Got a booty like coops, I'm tryna make it. Wow, slow down, grab the wall.
So I could do I could do another breaker thing, or I could just take that, could do like a beat pause, like I was saying, like a mute. Let's find out where that bass is. Where did that bass go? Oh, we're on here, that's right. There it is. Let's take it out. Now we've got like a... There we go. I'm pretty cool. I'm pretty happy with that. Let's go over to this acapella. I feel like we could probably do a bit of work on this. And I mean, we could put sidechain on this even, you know. I'm going sidechain crazy today. And...
Mad cause I spoon, but I don't give a fork. Silverware a nigga out if he acting a poor sport. Use a door, grab a girl and get a yank. Got a booty like coops, I'm tryna make it. Wow, slow down, grab.
Cool. That's sounding pretty good. I mean, I can spend a lot of time on just this kind of stuff, but I'm gonna add some more like effects and like kind of hopefully helpful things for you guys, so you can kind of learn how I use like little tools like effects and things to structure my song. So I'm gonna add another audio track, and we're kind of running over time. It's already like 5 p.m. I don't know how many people are still tuned in or not, but I'll show you this little cool trick. This is kind of like the whooshes and sounds and stuff like that. So in audio samples, I also have my own like favorite samples. Again, I created a crate, and you just press that, and then it creates a crate, and then you can drag anything into it, and you can call it whatever you want. I don't need that crate, but I'm going to go to my favorite sounds effects crate, and I've got a bunch of little sounds effects like this. Just Blaze Riser, pan swish sound, drop, crashes and stuff. I'm just going to drag this crash into the audio tracks here, and you can see now this is also synced to the project key. I don't need that. It doesn't really, it's just a crash. I don't even need this to sync. Let's leave it on anyways. Now, what I can do here is I can put it on kind of like impactful parts of the track. So like choruses or build-ups, things like that. I'm just going to put this crash here.
Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal. And you already know me. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up. Gas pedal, gas pedal, gas.
It was a bit too loud. I need to turn that down. And another thing I want to do now is I actually want to so it's got a cue point, but I want to create another cue point. So I'm going to do that. And you can see along here, this is like the grid of the sound. And you can set your playhead, and you can set a cue point. So I'm going to press 2. And you can also move, if it's not quite right, you zoom in, and you can move that, and it will kind of snap, there we go, to the grid. And then you can choose to have it reverse. So I'm going to press reverse. And now when I play this, it'll play backwards. Great. That's all I need it to do. And so I can drag that down here. And then we've got like, oops, drag that down here and put it on the timeline, zoom in, and we can just move this up to just before the other one crashes.
Ass fall off. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed.
Tension.
Gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas.
And let's throw some sidechain on that too. All right, let's go sidechain. Crazy. Oh, what's up, Ted? What's up, Lily? All right, Lovesick in the house. Cool Chic 1, my guy. Cool. So, what's up, Corey? Big Life Creative. Got some cool people in here, man. And so now we're going to play this, and you can see it's going to create some tension leading up to a crash.
Ass fall off. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up. Gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal.
And if I don't need it to be that whole length, I can just use this chopper tool to chop it down and then copy that. And then let's paste it over here again. And let's take this guy, copy this, paste it over here. We need to line it up there again. PP Sims, what's up? You got to make sure you don't overlap because you can only have one thing at a time on this right now. And I like to leave a little space between it. It just kind of creates like a little pause before it drops, and it's kind of like, it really creates good tension. So yeah, we got a couple things in here now. Now, if I like this, if I just like this the way it is, and I use this kind of effect all the time in these cue points, what's really cool is I think I can save this. Yep, save deck preset. Now you can't see this. Let me see if I can change that for you. 1 second. Open display preferences because I got. Here we go. Arrangement. There we go. Whoa. All right. So up the top here, when I go to create, I can save deck preset, and you'll see. Okay, so it's actually saving the head explosion bass. So any of these things here I can save, but I can't save a whole audio track, unfortunately, just yet. But if I did use that, I could save it, that effect, and save it as a whole deck. But we didn't get that right. Let's go back to our song view and go back here and hear how this sounds.
Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up. Gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal now. Speed up. Gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal. She a trick for.
Cool. I'm gonna actually just forgive me. I gotta get these. I gotta get this thing out of here. There we go. I just don't want that up there. It's bugging me. There we go. We're back. Cool. Get rid of that. There we go. Okay. DJ PJ, what's up? We got some cool people, man. I love it. I love that you guys are into this. I'm not gonna make this whole beat. I'm just gonna like shorten it. I'm just gonna make it a one verser kind of shortcut DJ edit. So I'm gonna cut down that for today. I'm just gonna keep this one verse and 2 choruses, and I think that's good. Let's hear how it sounds all together as a whole track.
Slow down, grab the wall, wiggle like you tryna make your ass fall off. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal. And you already know me, S-A-G-E. Gas pedal, gas pedal. Black money, let them all say amen. I'm just tryna make it clear, boy, Ray-Bans. I'm a great man, whoa, say friend. I play a whole late night DJ, man. Room full of boppers, tell them give me topper. Beat it up, 911, hit the coppers. I'm S-A-G-E, who would like to know? B54 fun, large me in your throat. West side, baby, do what you do. And you gotta tell what that shit do. It's pretty nigga mob, that's the way that I grow. I be stepping up in the club, they make it drop to my show. Her dude mad cause I spoon, but I don't give a fork. Silverware, nigga out if he acting a poor sport. Use a door, grab a girl and get a yank. Got a booty like coops, I'm tryna make it. Wow, slow down, grab the wall, wiggle like you tryna make your ass fall off. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal now. Speed up, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal.
Cool. So I got a pretty good idea. I got a pretty rough beat. I got a sequence. I got an acapella on here. If this acapella needs a bit more work, I could probably spend some time on that. If I needed to like move the beginning part, I can always just kind of touch that up here by moving that. Maybe that'll help with the feel a little bit.
Slow down, grab the wall, wiggle like you tryna make your ass fall off. Hella.
I don't know if I want to make that too far behind the beat or too on top of the beat, but I think that sounds pretty decent. I guess now that I'm kind of done with this, or for now I'm done with this, I'd probably want to figure out a way to get it out to either send to my friends or master it or maybe take it to another DAW. So one of the things I haven't talked about yet is this master channel down here where you see this whole waveform being printed out. And this is really helpful. A lot of people really use this waveform as a way to kind of figure out which frequencies they need to spend more time on. So if you click on this master waveform, it pulls up the full waveform here. And this is really helpful because you can see all the frequencies and any changes that you're making to it. So for example, if I play the beat,
slow down.
You'll see as I'm pulling the filter down, the waveform is changing on the screen.
Speed up, gas pedal.
So all those changes are happening in real time, which is really great. And especially, this is very helpful, especially if you're going to put a master limiter or compressor. And these come with stock instruments in here. Oh, you want me to save the project? Sure. Okay. So I'm going to save the project. There we go. Save project. Call this YouTube. Oh, hold on. The Gas. Hey, what do you guys reckon? Is The Gas a good name? Yeah. Okay, we'll call it The Gas. Done. Saved. All right, so we're saved. Now we want to do the mastering channel here. So this is the master channel. This is where you put your limiters on. And actually, Cool Chic, it does auto-save. But I don't want to get into that right now. I'm going to show you this how to use the master channel. So these are the preset options in here: brightener, EQ, master compressor, and limiter. So you can just turn these things on.
Slow down, grab the wall, wiggle like you tryna make your ass fall off. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal.
So you can see obviously that it's changing the waveform as you're putting these on. Now the cool thing is if you have Serato Studio, if you've bought a license, one of the coolest things about it is it actually comes with a plugin that a lot of people use called Ozone 8 Elements, or Ozone 8 Elements, and that's like a mastering suite. So you can drag this. Let me just turn these off. You can just drag this into one of these effect slots, and then that'll pull up Ozone 8, which is world-class mastering assistant plugin, and it makes your stuff sound great. Even just the presets, just turn on adapt the first one, and it's going to sound dope.
Slow down, grab the wall, wiggle like you tryna make your ass fall off. Hella thick.
I mean, already you can see, right?
Slow down.
Let's go to the top. Yeah, this is already sounding like pretty pro. Go to the top of the whole song.
Slow down, grab the wall, wiggle like you tryna make your ass fall off. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal. And you already know me, S-A-G-E. Gas pedal, gas pedal. Black money, let them all say amen. I'm just trying to make it clear, boy, Ray-Bans. I'm a great man, whoa, say friend.
Cool, so yeah, so you got your master on there now. Now if you want to bounce it out, you go to export song. And this is a real pro tip for those of us who may be a bit more experienced and are like, okay, I really like all these features in Serato Studio, but I'm a bit more comfortable in, I don't know, Pro Tools. Maybe I don't want to use an acapella, or maybe I want to actually get one of my homies or like somebody to sing on it, or play an instrument or solo on it or whatever. Because right now you can't really record into Serato. Like, right, Serato Studio is just like using the sounds that you have. So, if you want to bounce out stems, you can do that in the master here and the export stems. And you can bounce out all the individual sounds in the drum rack, so you can have full control over that. You can decrease the audio by 6 dB, so that when you do go and bring it into your DAW, it will be at a nice level, and you can pull it into like Pro Tools or Ableton or Logic or whatever you use, and do all the other things that you do in those programs, but with the benefit obviously of Serato. So I'll just export this as stems, and I'll call this Gas Me Up as per Rebecca's suggestion. I'm going to save it to my desktop, and now it's bouncing out all of these things individually as stems, everything, which is really, really helpful, because if you do need to record something on here, you can add some extra things on it. So we'll just let this do its thing. It's going to take a minute naturally, but it's pretty fast really when you think about what it's doing. I don't know many other programs that do it like this, and also the detail that it provides is quite cool. So I'll show you that in just a second. Need some background, some like theme, like interlude music right now. All right. The suspense. Done. All right, so let's pull up Finder, and I'll pull up my desktop. And Gas Me Up. Okay, so here we go on my desktop. If I open up this folder, you can see in this folder it has everything labeled with the BPM, the key, all of the instruments, all the names, and the title of the track, which is really, really helpful, especially if you're sending to somebody else to mix it, for example, and you don't have, you don't want to have to send all that information. It's just on everything. No one can kind of make a mistake, really, which is pretty sweet. And then, of course, you can bounce out your song as a wave or an MP3, and stems as MP3. So I'm just going to bounce this out in MP3, export it, and we'll call this Gas Me Up. What do you guys think? Should I post this on SoundCloud or something later? Make a free download, throw it in the DJ crate, play at your next gig. So now we're bouncing out the MP3. Again, doing all its work right now, doing the bounce with the master. And just about there. Boom, we're all done here. So there we have the song on my desktop. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but there it is. And you're off. You can drag that into your Serato DJ library and rock a party with it. So that's kind of the beat. Maybe I want to just one more little flex. I'm going to put a DJ drop. I know a lot of people. The jury's out. Should we put our our producer tag on the track, or should we leave it as it is? What do you guys say? You guys want to have the producer tag in there? I say for this, yes. So I'll go into my audio samples, and I'm going to go for. Actually, maybe I got a drop in my Serato DJ library. Let's see what I got. Drop. I got a Pilo drop for my girlfriend. Rich Medina drop. Do I have another drop? I think I have some other drops. I got Drop by Nick McLaren. Drop Top, it's a great one. Do I have a Slum Village drop? Or a Warren G drop? Okay, I know I got a Warren G drop. Where are my drops? This is a very important part for a lot of people. Warren G, Kutcorners drop. Here we go. Let's see how that sounds.
Check this out, this Warren G. And whenever I want to cut corners, I'm fucking with the homeboy Kutcorners.
That's what we want to do. Put that in there. Very important.
Check this out, this Warren G, and whenever I want to cut corners,
Too fast. Let's take that sync off.
Check this out, this Warren G. And whenever I want to cut corners, I'm fucking with the homeboy
Slow down.
Cut Corners.
All right, we need a little bit longer here. Maybe we'll just make this, maybe this is the cut corners part.
Fucking with the homeboy Cut Corners. That's how.
Yep.
Whenever I want to cut corners, I'm fucking with the homeboy Cut Corners.
Maybe not the swear word part, hey?
Cut corners. That's how I go down, y'all.
There we go. Let's throw a little delay on that. Or echo.
Cut corners. That's how I go down, y'all.
There we go.
Cut corners. That's how I go down, y'all.
Slow down. Grab the wall. Wiggle like you tryna make your ass.
There we go. Now we got the producer tag. People know who made it. You know, basically a shout out to yourself. Kind of weird, but we got it. So that's the beat. That's the demo. We bounced it out. I hope that was helpful. I guess I got some time to answer any questions. I think I got a couple questions that came through earlier that I should answer. So let me just see what I got here. Yes, here we go. Some questions. If you guys have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat right now, and I'll do my best to answer. So, my homie Issa, he asked, how do you start? And I think that's a really, really good question. Basically, the way to start is kind of, I guess, if you can find an inspiration of some sort, whether it's from the chords or a sample that you hear, or even just like the acapella, like you can start with something as like an idea starter. It's also really good just to like listen to lots of music. So you go, oh yeah, I'm really into this kind of sound, and have intention that when you go into it, you have an idea, a rough idea of what you're trying to achieve at the end of the process. So, you know, like for this one, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely knew exactly what I wanted to do before I started making it, so I wasn't gonna look like an idiot on YouTube. And I knew that I wanted to use these chords and things like that. So I started with those chords and built around the chords. So the chords were kind of like the central part of this. But a lot of my production, and I think a lot of other people would agree that they start with something as an idea starter, and then they build around that. And definitely acapellas or samples, and that's the great thing about Serato actually is, I'll say this, and I've used this a lot as idea starters, is that all the samples that it comes with, if you download the packs, so you can see all the Serato packs we've got from really great artists and service providers. They actually come with samples, so you can just like kind of, you know, especially when you're starting out, it's just good to start with something and then figure out how to build around that. So you can just go into here and find like a loop. And, you know, if you drag that in, that can be your starting point, and then you just build around that idea. And that's definitely a great way to start, especially with hip-hop production or dance music production, is to kind of start with a sample. I think that a lot of really great songs have just started with a loop, and there's nothing wrong with that. So it doesn't matter if it's a stock loop or it's a record or something you ripped off YouTube. Just grab something that takes, you know, like speaks to your ear, and then you just go from there. I think... yeah, my homegirl JMKM has asked about how to do bass lines. Bass lines are also a very, very important part to glue a song together. And it's kind of like very important to kind of leave space. Bass lines can take up a lot of space. You don't want to overdo them. And they're kind of like a supporting instrument. So I always think of bass lines as, if they're not the main thing that you're listening to in a song, which they can be, they can just be the main thing that is the loop or the main element of the song, then it kind of stands on its own, and you just put drums around it and little other elements. But typically, I find bass lines are more of a supporting element, so they support the piano. So as you notice, when I produced this song earlier, I started with the piano chords, and then the bass notes were just kind of pushing supporting the keyboard chords, and that's how I did it. And then I kind of moved around that. And yeah, Jonathan, you got a really good point. Your first couple tracks probably aren't going to be great, and I definitely make stinkers. Like I think we all do, no matter where you are in your career, you're going to open up a DAW from time to time, and you'll be like, oh man, I just can't make anything good today, and that's just gonna happen. But you will kind of just do it. Like it's like kind of working out or skateboarding or surfing or riding a bike. You're gonna take some falls, but the more you do it, the more you learn how to not fall. So it's really good to keep doing it as much as possible, get into a practice of doing it. So really, really good. And it's always going to be a learning process, always. Even at this point, even no matter how long you are, if you ask anybody, they're still learning new things and they're still learning new tools. And when programs come out like Serato Studio or others plugins, the people are always going to kind of gravitate to try things out because they're going to give them some new inspiration. And that's definitely one of the things I've really benefited from, working for Serato and trying out this software. It's kind of given me a new approach to making music, which is great. What else we got in here? How do I make a hit and not just get likes on Instagram? I don't know, man. That's a good question. How to make a hit? Work with people. Collaborate. Collaboration is really good. You're going to learn a lot by collaborating with people. Nick McLaren is actually one of the people that taught me lots of stuff, and all the people that I work with, if they make songs or whatever, we always exchange information. And this is a great thing about like the time that we're living on. Even though we're all locked down right now, we've got access to so much information on the internet, and there's like YouTube channels, and there's Twitch, and there's people doing live beat production, and you can ask questions like you can today, and we can provide answers and hopefully tips and tools that you can learn from. And I think that's really important to collaborate. If you've got friends, build a community. There's a really cool, and we're at the city I live in Vancouver, there's a really cool collective called Loop Sessions, and they do these community meetups every now and then at a cafe, and then everyone just kind of goes and makes beats. And it's really cool. Some people are better than others, of course, but everyone's learning from each other and seeing different approaches to how people produce, and that's a constant source of inspiration. How often should I water my beets? I think regularly. Regularly, definitely. I don't know how regularly because I don't actually have beets in my garden currently, but regularly. Mastering tips or mix down tips. Man, make sure things aren't distorting. Turn things down so you have room to go louder if you need to. That was a really helpful tool. Is that you'll hit a brick wall eventually and everything will just sound muddy. So try and give yourself somewhere to go so that you don't max everything out. So it's always a good idea. Like you may have noticed while I was making this beat, I was constantly turning things down here and there. That's really helpful. That was always really helpful for me. And leave space for things. So sidechain is kind of like a cheat. It'll leave space for the kick to always like be really very, very loud and clear. But always leaving like space in frequencies too. So sometimes I'll take, like in the piano here, I'll just take the lows out. There's probably not many lows in here. Oops. Yeah, there's not too many lows, so I just take the lows out, and that'll give more space for the bass line to live, and because it's going to take up a lot of those frequency ranges in the lower end. Please be safe out there is another question, but it's a fact. What else we got here? Yeah, sharing music is also really good. Sharing music on whatever platform, like SoundCloud is a great community for sharing ideas and getting feedback. Even if you're just working with something in progress, if it's not a song that you really want to, put out completely on like a Spotify, Apple Music, whatever, put it on SoundCloud. Even making it a private track and then sending it to your friends, and then getting their feedback. As long as it's constructive criticism, it'll be really helpful. So that's another really cool tip. What else we got there? Anything else here? Let's see what we got. Live streams. Okay, well, I think that's kind of probably about it, man. I'm a little late here. Yeah, okay, I think that's it. If that's all... Oh, how do you put automation on SongView? Well, actually, that's coming, Kwan. That is going to be coming at some point, and I know that's going to happen. I definitely cannot wait for that to happen, and so we'll see that very, very soon. hopefully this year. No set date. How can I end a beat? Ending a beat is kind of you can go forever, man. There's no real end. It's just whenever you're comfortable with it, and that's actually it's quite a big question. It's like when you finish, you just kind of have to let it go and let it be. It's like letting your baby out into the world, and hopefully it prospers and does well. Where can you find good samples? Well, Serato Studio has great samples. Splice, yeah, great samples on Splice. There's lots of other platforms coming out, and always there's new ones. And I mean, even just ripping sounds from YouTube. I probably shouldn't say that, but yeah, ripping sounds from wherever. Taking a Zoom recorder or your phone, and then like recording random things is a great way to get cool things, unexpected things. Using instruments and recording them and then playing them and dragging them into Serato Studio. Yeah, there's really no limit to where you can find sounds. There is so many sounds in the world. Of course, there's nothing like going to a record store and going through that whole process. That is still something that a lot of people really, really enjoy. But yeah, what else we got? Anything else? 1 or 2 break on the entire song, then back to the track. Yeah, you just got to do those in the scenes, Jonathan. Automation's just in the scenes right now, but it'll be coming. Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will hopefully make this beat public somewhere so you guys will be able to interact with it. If you want, I can even probably upload the project, and that way you can have the project and deconstruct it yourself. If you ever need to find demo projects, they come with Serato Studio as well. So a lot of our artists have made them. Flosstradamus, Track Girl, of course. A-Track and Nick Catch Dubs from Fool's Gold made these ones. Just Blaze, Jeremy Toy made these ones for SP1200. There's lots of really, really good projects that you can kind of just load up and try out and see how they did it. And it's a great way to learn the software too. It's very much the same way I did this. And yeah, let's play this one more time. All right, let's do it. Okay, this is the end song from the top.
Kutcorners, that's how it go down, y'all.
Slow down, grab the wall, wiggle like you tryna make your ass fall off. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up, gas pedal, gas pedal. Gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal. And you already know me, S-A-G-E. Gas pedal, gas pedal. Black money, let them all say amen. I'm just trying to make it clear, boy, Ray-Bans. I'm a great man, whoa, say friend. I play a whole late night DJ, man. Room full of boppers, tell them give me topper. Beat it up, 911, hit the coppers. I'm S-A-G-E, who would like to know? B545, large me in your throat. West side, baby, do what you do. And you gotta tell what that shit do. It's pretty nigga mob, that's the way that I grow. I be stepping up in the club, they make it drop to my show. Her dude mad cause I spoon, but I don't give a fork. Silverware, nigga out if he acting a poor sport. Use a door, grab a girl and get a yank. Got a booty like coops, I'm tryna make it. Wow, slow down, grab the wall, wiggle like you tryna make your ass fall off. Hella thick, I wanna smash them all now. Speed up, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal now. Speed up, gas pedal, gas pedal, gas pedal.
Alright, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you very soon, I hope. Alright, peace.